Alright, quick update on Sol. So I'm not really going to cover what's been happening in the macro term. I'm just going to make this about what's happening in the short term. If you do want to see what I've been outlining and why I think we could potentially be setting up this triple bottom pattern, go check out my previous video I did on Solana yesterday. Nothing in the macro term has changed, so I just want to update you on the short term. So in the short term, we have been highlighting the possibility of a triple bottom, anywhere around this vicinity, a bottom here, the bottom that we put in here, and either, hopefully a bottom here, but worst case scenario, we would need to put a bottom in over here. So since we made our video yesterday, we have had a slight bounce. Do bear in mind, this is a pipsqueak bounce. This is really nothing for me to get out of bed for. And, do bear in mind, Solana is the #1 altcoin that I hold. So I am, giving you my unbiased perspective. I am saying, even though I do love Solana, if we did break below this red trend line, things will get very scary in the short term. And, considering this would really be where we'd want to put in a triple bottom, I'm personally not seeing, the movement to the upside that I really want to. So obviously it's only been a day. Do bear in mind, previously, we have kind of bounced here 1, 2, 3 days, even put in a lower low here. So I may be looking for something like that. I think it is possible that we could be coming down to 69 in the short term. If you've watched my previous videos, I said anywhere between 72 and 69 is my last line in the sand for Solana in the short term. If I was personally to stay bullish on Solana in the short to mid term, I would need to see a bottom lowest around here. In my opinion, it can't go lower. We can't close a daily below 69. Even if we close and it's 68, I think we would be falling off the table because, we would have lost the 78. So I'm really saying 69 is like, this would really be what I'd want to see on a wick. Coming down, having a wick here, and then closing the daily around here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I will give you my unbiased take on this, even though I do own this. I would much rather say, oh look, lots of volumes coming in, we're getting ready for a big move up to the upside. But, nothing has come in yet that's making me feel like this could be potentially the bottom. I still feel like it's potentially likely we could be coming down to this big green box. And even if we do have a big pump in the short term, I've got my eyes on 112. This is the 618 fib. Until we do break back above 112, then, we are still in a bearish trend, which personally I don't mind because I am actually hoping that Solana goes a little bit lower. I do like cheap Solana. Whenever I do buy Solana, I do like to buy it for the cheap when it has, come down from a quick dump. So that's all I'm looking for, really. The Solana BTC pair as well hopefully has bottomed on this 1.618, and once again, if we do drop below this 1.618, we do have a big drop coming in against Bitcoin. So I could imagine maybe if Bitcoin starts entering a bear market, Solana could lose a lot of its priced against Bitcoin, which is why I am mainly just sitting in Bitcoin at the moment. And I am waiting for this big push up above 46,000. If that never happens, I am just going to keep on accumulating Bitcoin, and I use my Bitcoin to buy Solana whenever, Solana heavily underperforms Bitcoin. So recently, I've been hedging a little bit of my Bitcoin into Solana as we have been falling off the table, but I will be slowing down, or I would be speeding up if we do bounce on the 1.618. If we do have a strong bounce, I will accumulate a bit of Solana. But, if Bitcoin starts falling below 37,000, if it does start coming down in the next 1 or 2 days, I would be very cautious about the Solana USD price. And especially the Solana BTC price could lose a lot of its price against Bitcoin. So you could imagine if Bitcoin is falling off the table, like a 30 or 40% drop, then the Sol BTC pair coming down, 23% could mean that, Solana could be falling off the table, which I don't want to see, and, I don't necessarily enjoy talking about. But like I said, short term, this really needs to be the bottom. I think we are really playing with fire if we don't bottom round here. But yeah, worst case scenario, we need to hold 60 or 72 to 69. I do think it is likely that we are going to come somewhere near this vicinity in the next couple of days, and I am hoping we bottom on 72 because this is the 786. The second we start, playing with fire and breaking below the 786, like we did here, look, we perfectly backtested the 618. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. So look, Solana perfectly came down, hit the 618. You can see we closed a daily candle on the 618, but we had a big wick below the 618. And basically, because we had this big wick below the 618, price wanted us to move all the way down to the next fib. And we're basically coming down to the 786 right now. So if we do lose the 786, there's no other fibs, at least in the macro term, for us to keep our eyes on, and we could be falling off the table. So yeah, this triple bottom is your last hope. I would be looking for a move down to 72 in the next few days. If I am wrong, we would need to hold 80. We'd need to have a strong push above 80. If we do start, if Bitcoin starts pushing up today, tomorrow, in the next 2 days, I do think, potentially Bitcoin has a chance. But really, I would keep an eye on what's going on in the total crypto market cap, because it doesn't look too good for me. Stock market doesn't look good at all. Stock market actually looks dog shit. This looks terrible. So I would be, somewhat cautious about, entering Solana if it's like 100% of your allocation. Personally, for me, I have about 40% of my portfolio in, and I am holding for the long term. So I don't mind Solana coming down to these levels. I don't even mind Solana breaking this in the short term. But yeah, at least from a short term perspective, I would like to see us bottom here at $80. If we do drop below $80, I am predicting that we're going to come down to 72 to 69, and at which point we would need to see a strong bounce ASAP. If we don't manage to get above this 69 region, you could see us coming all the way down to 55, and then, we can talk about lower price targets at that point, but this really needs to be your last line in the sand. This triple bottom needs to play out, otherwise things can get very dangerous in the short term. So that is all I see for Solana. All in all, that is, I am obviously outlining some pretty nasty scenarios, but none of this will turn out as long as we hold $80. Keep an eye on 80. This is hopefully the bottom. I am personally buying a tiny bit of Solana right now, nothing crazy, just a small amount. Having a little bite at the price. If we do hold 80, I do think we'd be coming all the way back up to somewhere between 100 and 112 in the next couple of weeks, or the next week even. But like I said, that all depends on if we hold 80. If I wake up and we're below 80, then I think we are going to be coming down to 72 to 69. So that is all I see for Solana. Best of luck if you are holding Solana, and yeah, this triple bottom's really your last line in the sand. Once again, none of this is financial advice, it's just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.